Students, in the last few video sessions, we have learned Bohr's atomic model and Bohr's postulates of atomic model, and we have seen three postulates, and out of which the third postulate gives the significance of atomic spectral lines of hydrogen atom. The formation of hydrogen spectrum can be explained by Bohr's third postulate, where it is E1 minus E2 is equal to NH nu. So what is mean by atomic spectra? For example, you are in the video, in the animation which is provided over there, you can see in the animation that white color spot, that white color sphere represents it is a energy source. It can be sun, it can be a bulb, incandescent bulb, or it can be monochromatic, or here it is white light source. Generally it will be mercury, which is white light source. Now we can consider it as mercury lamp. From that mercury lamp, you are able to see that 5 different colors are coming out: blue, blue, sky blue, yellow, orange, and red. 5 different colors are coming out from that particular white color sphere, which is a source. And that light which is coming over is absorbed by an atom which is placed beside that. And you are able to see that an electron is revolving around the nucleus, and those 5 different colors are passing through that atom, out of which one light is absorbed by the atom, and remaining 4 different colors are passing out from the atom. You can check it up. 5 different colors are coming over there. Only 4 are coming out. That is absorption. So the atom is absorbing any one particular color. That depends upon the energy states of an electron of that particular atom. Which color light it is absorbing depends upon the electron in which atomic orbital it is present. Based on that, it will be absorbing some color. Likewise, depending on its size, the molecule or atom will absorb it. So when a multiple color of light is incidented upon any particular atom, out of which it absorbs some radiations, after absorption it emits the same amount of radiation. So the light which is being absorbed, it is said to be as absorption spectrum, and the atom, after absorbing some radiations, it will be emitting radiations, which is usually called as emission spectrum. Not only hydrogen, any particular gas, any gas you can take, definitely if it is irradiated to some kind of radiations, then it absorbs some radiations and it emits some radiations. And the radiations which it is absorbing, if you mark them, or if the you are taking a detector, any detecting screen, if you take a detector and if you place that detector beside that atom, which radiations it is able to absorb are being recorded on the absorption spectrum, whereas after absorption the same atom will emit radiations, it is said to be emission spectrum. In the animation, clearly we are distinguishing both absorption spectrum and as well as emission spectrum. How absorption and emission is possible for an atom, we are going to discuss in this particular video session, and different types of emission spectrum of hydrogen atom we are going to learn in this video session. Yeah, let me consider a hydrogen atom in which there is a nucleus and electron will be in one particular orbit. So hydrogen consists of only one electron. That electron, like it is here. Now this electron can absorb some radiation and it can come out from that orbital. So when it is coming out, it enter into another orbital. So obviously when this electron will take some energy, it just come out and it can undergo a transition from this level to another level. Let me take, it is undergoing transition from here to here, or it may undergo transition from here to here. It may undergo transition from here to here. Likewise, after absorbing energy, like for example, if an electron is coming out from innermost orbital to outermost orbital, like as we already have discussed, energy changes from orbit to orbit. So innermost orbital will have an energy of 13.6 because n is equal to 1, its energy E is equal to minus 13.6 electron volt. Likewise, n is equal to 2, second orbital, E will be equal to minus 13.6 divided by 4 electron volt. Coming from innermost orbital to outermost orbital, energy decreases. So therefore, when electron is undergoing a transition here from n is equal to 1 to n is equal to 2 state, it is emitted some radiation, and this radiation is h nu, and this radiation is 2h nu, and this radiation is 3h nu. Likewise, once at this position, like the outermost orbital, if the electron is in the outermost orbital, releasing continuous energy, and it have come out to the outermost orbital, and now it is absorbing some radiations. So when it is absorbing some radiation, it absorbs and it undergo a transition in this way, right? So it can absorb h nu amount of energy, and it can enter into this level. It can absorb h nu amount of energy, 2h nu amount of energy, and it can undergo transition to this orbital. Likewise, it can absorb some amount of radiation and it can enter into this radiation, this orbital. So two probabilities it has. It can take energy and it can enter from lower energy level to higher energy level. It can release energy and it can take a transition from higher energy level to lower energy level. If the electron is absorbing energy and undergoing a transition from lower energy level to higher energy level, it is said to be absorption spectrum. Same electron, if it is undergoing a transition from higher energy level to lower energy level, it will release some energy, and that spectrum is said to be emission spectrum. And the emission of radiations or absorption of radiation of an electron in hydrogen atom is given by the third postulate of Bohr's atomic model. It is E1 difference E2 is equal to NH nu. E1 difference E2 is equal to NH nu, or it can be plus or minus NH nu. Plus denote that energy is released, it is emission spectrum. Minus denote that energy is absorbed, and it is absorption spectrum. So here in this particular atomic spectra, we are going to see emission spectrum of an hydrogen atom, which it is undergoing a transition from higher energy level to lower energy level. Yeah. So as I already mentioned, whenever there is emission of radiation, an electron jump from higher energy level to lower energy level. Higher energy level has energy like it is N2, and lower energy level I am considering it as N1. And the difference between these two gives you amount of energy released, that is E2 minus E1 is equal to NH nu, or this is actually H nu. So H nu can be simply written as E1 minus E2. H nu is the amount of radiation which is being released, and this H nu is equal to E2 minus E1. And of course, As we know, energy E is equal to minus 13.6 Z square divided by N square. This negative sign represents that energy is to be absorbed in order to knock out an electron from its particular orbit. So therefore, electron always absorb energy and it comes out, knock out from that particular orbit and undergo transition to the next energy level, and it releases some energy. So that is what, as we know, h nu is equal to E2 minus E1. E2 can be written as minus 13.6 Z square divided by N2 square minus 13.6 Z square divided by N1 square. This is equal to 13.6 Z square into 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square is equal to h nu. And this is in electron volt. This is in electron volt. And as we know, 1 electron volt is equal to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 joule. You can convert this electron volt into joule by multiplying with 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. So clearly h nu is C by lambda. So hc by lambda can be simply written as, if you convert this h nu like electron volt into joule, you can just write it as 12.8 into 10 power minus 18 Z square into 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square, and this is in joule. This is in joule. Okay, or you can even still write it as hc divided by lambda is equal to some r, which is a constant, Z square into 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square, where this r is called Rydberg constant. This is Rydberg constant. So finally, whenever an electron is undergoing a transition from N1 level to N2 level, it will release some energy, and that energy can be calculated using this equation, and corresponding radiational wavelength and frequency can be determined by the same equation. You can find out what is the wavelength of radiation emitted, what is the frequency of radiation emitted whenever an electron is undergoing transition. Depending on the wavelength of emitted radiation, there are different types of hydrogen spectrum by which the electron is undergoing a transition from higher energy level to lower energy level. Based on that, we have 5 different emission spectrum of hydrogen atom. So as I already told you, whenever an electron is undergoing a transition from higher energy level to lower energy level, it can undergo transition in such a way from n is equal to 1 to n is equal to 2, n is equal to 3, n is equal to 4, n is equal to 5, and n is equal to 6, so on. So if a transition is taking place in such a way, the transition is from n is equal to 1 to n is equal to 2, 3, 4, so on. So n1 is equal to 1 to n2 is equal to 2, 3, 4, so on. Then in such cases, this kind of spectrum is called Lyman series. It is said to be Lyman series. So we are dealing with emission spectrum. I think like in chemistry, you will be learning the converse from higher and from higher orbital to n is equal to 1. If an electron is undergoing a transition, we generally call it as Lyman series. That is absorption spectrum. Remember that. Here I am particular about emission spectrum. In chemistry, you will be learning with absorption spectrum, where electron will take some energy and it undergo transition from n is equal to 2 to n is equal to 1, or 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 5 to 1, 6 to 1. In such cases, we call it as Lyman series. The reciprocal, the converse I am teaching you here. from n is equal to 1, because it is having greater energy, we are dealing with emission spectrum, not absorption. So electron take energy and it undergo a transition, and from n is equal to 1 to any other orbit, we call it as Lyman series. And next n is equal to 2 to first energy level is 2 to second energy level can be 3 comma 4 comma 5 so on. It is said to be Balmer series. And n1 is equal to 3 to n2 is equal to 4 comma 5 comma 6 so on. It is said to be Paschen. n1 is equal to 4 to n2 is equal to 5 comma 6 comma so on. You can call it as bracket series. So these all are different types of emission spectrum which is being observed in the hydrogen, observed for hydrogen. Lyman series, Balmer series, Paschen series, bracket series, and Fund series. And Lyman series is usually observed in the range of ultraviolet region. Balmer series, it is in the visible region. That means Balmer series have a wavelength range of 4000 angstroms to 7000 angstrom, because the visible range is from 4000 to 7000. So Balmer series is visible for us, but other spectral series are not visible because they are in the range of ultraviolet range. Ultraviolet light could not be visible for our eye. So Lyman series is in ultraviolet range. Balmer series is in visible range. You are able to see them. Paschen series, it is in infrared. It is low infrared. Next, bracket series, it is mid infrared region, and Fund series, it is far infrared region. That is how energy transitions takes place, like electron transition takes place. Based on that, you are able to get these different types of spectral lines: Lyman, Balmer, Paschen, bracket, and Fund. Fund series is that n1 is equal to 5 to n2 is equal to 6 comma 7 so on. It is Fund series. And any spectral line series limit can be calculated by using this equation. You can use this equation: 1 by lambda is equal to RH into 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. So this is what I have told you from n is equal to 1 to other orbital. Likewise, the same way from higher energy, from higher orbital to n is equal to 1. See in this, from any other higher orbit to n is equal to 1, an electron is undergoing a transition, then even we call it as Lyman series. Likewise, from higher orbit, it may take a transition to n is equal to 2, second level. Then we call it as Balmer series, and then Paschen series, and then bracket and Fund. In Balmer series, we are able to see different multiple wavelengths of light, which is visible. That's the reason why here it is marked as red, green, blue, orange. So we are able to see V, I, B, G, Y, O, R. All these multiple wavelengths could be observed in the Balmer series. This is how hydrogen spectrum can be successfully explained by Bohr's atomic model. Try to answer this question yourself. You go on, try to answer this question, and after my explanation, you can cross check your answer. So when hydrogen-like atom whose energy in the nth excited state is given by En is equal to minus 13.6 Z square divided by N square. When this excited atom makes a transition from excited state to ground state, most energetic photon have energy E maximum is equal to 52.224 electron volt. This is the maximum energy released over there. And the least energetic photons, which is E minimum, is equal to 1.224 electron volt. E maximum and E minimum is been given. As we know, whenever from Bohr's third postulate, E1 difference E2, that means first energy level minus, I'm not telling it as minus, it is difference. So difference is equal to plus or minus nh nu. Based on this n, you may get high energy or low energy. If the spacing between two energy level transitions, if it is very high, then maximum energy is released. If the spacing is less, then minimum energy will be released. So I am considering that E maximum is a transition where I am writing it as E1 divided by n square minus E1 is equal to 52.224 electron volt. This is maximum. From some nth orbit, it is undergoing transition to first energy level. So you are getting maximum energy. Likewise, E1 divided by n square minus immediate transition to n minus 1. N is the nth orbit. From that, if it is undergoing a transition to n minus 1, just immediate next orbit, the energy released will be very least. So it is E1 divided by n minus 1 whole square will be equal to 1.224 electron volt. These are the two equations which we have got, number 1 and number 2. Now you try to solve this. You can take ratio of these two. You try to solve this. E1 in the numerator and E1 in the denominator gets cancelled. Leftover will be only n, which is not known to you. And if you evaluate this, you will be getting n is equal to 5. That means the state of excitation is 5. Now take this n is equal to 5 and substitute in this E maximum value. It is minus 13.6 z square divided by 5 square is equal to 52.224 electron volt. From here, you can calculate Z. If you calculate this, you will be getting Z is equal to 2. So Z is equal to 2. It means this is helium atom. So the unknown atom and as well as from which transition it is undergoing excitation, we have calculated in this problem. A hydrogen-like atom, atomic number Z, is in a higher excited state of quantum number n. This excited atom can make a transition to the first excited state by successively emitting two photons of energy 10.20 electron volt and 17.000 electron volt. Alternatively, the atom from the same excited state can make a transition to the second excited state by successively emitting two photons of energy 4.25 electron volt and 5.95 electron volt. You are now supposed to calculate the value of n and as well as z. So from nth level, the electron is undergoing a transition by emitting this much amount of energy. So as we know, delta E is equal to 13.6 z square into 1 by n1 square divided by 1 by n2 square. This is the equation which you can use in order to solve this problem. If at all I am considering that n from some particular nth state, if an electron is undergoing transition, it is emitting two photons of energies 10.2 and 17. So therefore, I am considering that the two photons which are being emitted as 10.20 electron volt plus 17.00 electron volt, which is equal to 27.2 electron volt, and this should be equal to 27.2 electron volt. I am just equating it with 13.6 z square into 1 by, from some higher order state, it is n square minus 1, I'm sorry, here already we have to positive, so it will be 2 square divided by n square, right? Simultaneously, you can take another emitted photons as 4.25 electron volt and 4.25 electron volt plus 5.95 electron volt, which is equal to 10.2 electron volt, and this will be equal to 13.6 z square into 1 divided by the next level. From higher order level, it is entering into a state n is equal to 2, and the next level will be n is equal to 3, that will be 3 square minus 1 by n square. Okay, now you can solve these expressions. This is number 1 and this is number 2. So solving 1 and 2, we get value of n. So n, if you calculate, you will be getting n is equal to 6, and take this n using n in 1 or 2, we get z, and z is equal to 3. So atomic number of the atom which is undergoing transition in this case is 3.